Um, like we have to discuss 3 questions. Like we have to choose 3 questions to discuss during the presentation, and we have to make a report about it. So I was thinking about discussing a question about a privacy, because in an artificial world, intelligent world, a lot of people may not be aware of how dangerous it can be, because maybe we can just make a question about how can we protect our privacy, and give some tips and advices for people, because a lot of people are don't pay attention to such small details, so they are victims of hackers and stuff. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think
I think you're right. So I would say that there are many cases where privacy has been violated. Like a good example and perfect example would be the pandemic period. So when COVID-19 started, everything was, online courses. You should have, you had to work online, and it required you to give a part of your privacy to other people. So actually, that is violation of your freedom of your right of freedom. So you have to show a part of your room, or even just people can track you. They can, for example, for work, they can see if you're working, if you're online and stuff, and it's a bit too much at that point. And for example, for students who had to pass exams, who had to do exams, there was an app called, I don't know if you guys remember the name, but you had to show your entire room, so your surrounding, so that they could see if you're not cheating or something. And it was a bit too much at that point. It's one of the examples that shows us that sometimes it can go a bit too far. What else can I say? Um, as well as just other companies, so that they know what their consumer wants or what they offer to their consumers. They require to know, to get into detail. So, like for example, on Zoom was very popular during the pandemic. Of course, for online meetings. Um, Third parties, they actually violated the um, people's rights, the consumers' rights of privacy, just to know more about, how can they progress, how can they, as a company, grow. I think they're taking rid of taking too much advantage, and we should also be aware of what they are doing with our information, or what they're actually doing behind their screens, what is actually happening when we are using the internet. So yeah.
I think with the issue of privacy, I think we should also be careful where we click,
Mhm.
because hackers most of the time send suspicious links. I've had experience with that before, so I think we should be careful where we click as well. And also, the second question I chose was, what unexpected failures occur in a world built on AI? I think this question is really important because a failure or an attack on AI will hurt us all. An example of an AI failure that occurred is the Tesla cars that have crashed because of the autopilot technology it has in it. So I think this crash have killed about 2 people, and the car missed a little curve on the road and slammed into a tree. So, so I think, so personally, I believe things can get terrible as time goes on, and these examples serves as a wake up call for all of us. So I think so. Yeah. So do you think AI will fail, or what do you think? I don't know.
I agree with you on the fact that things can get worse, because as companies try to progress and finding new things and innovate, um, I think it requires much more privacy, so that they can know like what do they actually need? How can they offer new products and stuff? But I'm afraid that it will go a bit too far in the future. So yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
Okay, so I was thinking about the question, how does AI affect employment? I thought this was an interesting and also essential question to ask, since many people are concerned and afraid they will lose their job due to the uprise of AI. And by doing some research, I discovered artificial intelligence already has and also will have like a tremendous impact on the future of jobs. I also found an analysis of Oxford University, which was actually very interesting because it said close to half of all jobs will be taken over by robots in the next 25 years. But like we know, destruction is also like generally reinvention. So I think they're like new job, robots will also create new jobs. And yeah, actually there's like a big misconception that exists nowadays because almost everyone believes that automation and AI will like really decrease the job opportunities and people will have to become like very educated and very highly skilled so to find a job in the future. But I actually read an article then from the World Economic Forum, which estimates that 85 million jobs will be replaced by machines with AI by 2025 already. But it's also indicated that 97 million new jobs will be created by 2025. So it will actually increase job opportunities. And yeah, I think therefore it's like an interesting field to explore and elaborate further upon. There's also a website called Will Robots Take My Job, where you can look up a job title and see the likelihood of AI-driven doom. But of course, it won't be 100% accurate since, job titling isn't always one size fits all approach. So as I said, there was also like quite some like AI disruption happening. So, but I think everyone's probably already aware of that. Artificial intelligence technologies have like reduced repetitive work and enhanced work efficiency. And as a result, almost every business is looking into it and is planning to implement it into their business. So it's not just only limited to the assembly lines anymore, which a lot of people still think. I thought it's also interesting to look into the jobs AI will actually replace, because it will for sure threaten some unskilled jobs through automation, but also create different kinds of jobs that require new skill sets. And maybe also we could look into what those skill sets would be. It's also very helpful in manufacturing, but also to keep human workers out of dangerous situations. And then like the most interesting sub-question to me seemed what jobs AI will actually create instead. It'll probably have a lot to do with data sourcing and analysts. So yeah, I think it's also, we could also then check what kind of skill sets they would need. So what do you guys think about
that? I would say that
it's good.
I would say that we tend to look a lot at the negative side of things, but I think it would create a lot of new jobs. Jobs will fade away, but new ones will come, and I think that is
And also, a particular aspect where maybe AI can take jobs is the receptionist. When it comes to the receptionist jobs, like right now with the fast foods, you don't even need someone to even book an order or something, you see screens where you can place orders. So I think AI will take jobs like that.
Yeah. But the biggest shortcoming of AI is that it can't like replace human judgments, and it also has like no feelings. So unless it's like programmed to like give some sort of emotion. So, but it's still very fake, and like I think people will also miss like that familiar like human aspect of it, like. So what you're saying from the receptionists.
These are the disadvantages of the artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are complaining about, that the human part of most companies getting rid of
Kind of difficult to understand you with the background noise. I think we can maybe round up the meeting here. I think we have some interesting questions in further explore in our reports. So I'll stop the recording here then, if that's okay.
Okay.